once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and today, I don't know what to expect today, to be honest. I am excited to get started today, sincerely, to all. Anyone who finds these words today, praise God. I am sending blessings and love to all of you. Greetings and blessings to all on this Armistice Day. Happy Talcott Tuesday as well, by the way. Most people know the day is Veterans Day, if I'm not mistaken, but and that's why I put it in quotes, so that people would recognize. But the message behind me and behind the screen here is end all wars for lasting peace. Join me, join us for a better future. It starts here and now, right? So Armistice Day. Reclaiming Armistice Day was something I learned. It's an actual project that Veterans for Peace, started some time ago. And the idea is to educate the citizenry on history. The fact that November 11th was originally a day of armistice, celebration of the end of the First World War, the war to end all wars as the great generation knew it. Right? That's why history was told at least, as I was taught. Today on this Veterans Day, it's kind of late in the day. Most people may have done their barbecues or got their free hot dogs or Denny's breakfast or whatever, but a bunch of us vets today, vets like me, we went out and gathered today. I know there was veterans all around the nation today gathering in different groups, and a bunch of us got together today in Washington, D.C., and there were some speeches given, and a lot of love is what I felt. There's a lot of frustration in the world today regarding what the government is doing, regarding the things in the world, and I'm actually excited. I'm excited for what this new kingdom is going to bring. The new kingdom here on earth, where the truth reigns supreme. Not the almighty dollar. That's just imaginary, man. This whole fictional government and the economic system, it's all made up. And if something is made up, it's imagined, right? And what's imagined is not real. Now, this is where it gets into the fine line, right? The realm of consciousness and mind in between your skull bones there, right? That's the gray matter that processes every thought for you and me. I spent a lot of time in there. I have most of my life. But recently, the recent years of my time in my mind has been spent observing, paying attention, watching the patterns of consciousness within myself and around. And what are the patterns that I'm seeing? It's so simple. It's so obvious. It's got to be divine. See, because if you think about truth or lie, that's what the basic principle is. What is true and what is a lie? That's the game we're here to figure out, right? We've got the God of truth or the Lord of lies. One wants to win and the other wants to survive, right? God of truth doesn't want to win. The truth has won. Love has won. God has won. That's the joke on you and me. The battle has been won. We must just surrender to the victory. And then claim it. Claim the victory. Reclaim this world in the name and ways of purity, holiness, honor, righteousness, justice. That's what love's about. See, and in the realm of mind and consciousness, to navigate this world of lies, we've got everything we need within us and combined between us, especially when you get groups of people together and you put the minds together. It's easier to discern truth from lie, as long as people are honest. So, what is a lie? A lie is something imagined. Uh, a lie is something that's created by the individual. It's imagined, right? But what is real is discovered. Now, the problem I was thinking earlier is it's real easy to imagine what is real and then discover what is real. And then you start trusting that imagination. That's what I did to myself. See, I proved myself right enough times that I started thinking I was smart, and then I outsmarted myself. And I think that's what the game with the devil was too. God allowed the devil to outsmart himself. There's no winning against God. There is only God. And only God. I was going to say only God wins, but there's no battle with God. Everything is already had by God. I'm getting away from Veterans Day quite a bit today. And the topic today, honoring life and death. Well, that's kind of the message of Armistice Day versus Veterans Day. See, this was brought up a few times in the speeches today. November, on the 11th day, at the 11th hour, in the 11th month of the 11th day, right? The 11s lined up and World War I ended. People stopped killing each other just because of a time and an agreement. And hey, blessings to you, Andy. Thank you for your contributions and happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. And I am having a great day. I am truly blessed. Frank Monday, I saw something from you and my name, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, I'm back, man. I'm back. I love you, brother. I'm feeling blessed. I am. Had a wonderful day today. But back to this idea of honoring life over death, Armistice versus Veterans Day. So back early 1900s, 1911. Is that right? No, that wasn't it. 1918? Yeah. End of World War One, Armistice Day, and then I believe it was 1954. So after World War II and further conflicts, we can't call it an Armistice Day, can't celebrate peace anymore. So let's rename it. Let's glorify the veterans. Well, then that's what it turned into. And there is honor in a man or woman choosing to raise their hand and say, yeah, I'll go do what I can for what I believe is the greater good. But they lied to us. They lied to us and got us to raise our hand for paychecks, false promises, all sorts of bullshit, recruiting children from their parents. In the age that I grew up in, military service was more recognized and promoted. And it was, in the movies, it's war is glorified. It's something beautiful, right? You celebrate the heroes who destroy the enemies, murder them all, take all their fathers and mothers away, right? That's who we celebrate in this nation. That's what that clown Hegseth seems to think. The Secretary of War. He was discussed today, too. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to do this because I don't know how long I intend to run. I wanted to get back out here today. Really, some inspiring words is what I have. I'm creating the space and offering the invitation, creating the opportunity, right? And space for respect to be shared. For those who wish to join respectful conversations, if you wish to join today, the link is pinned to the top. And we'll see where we go. Earlier today, though, on a totally different subject, I realize this is a major flaw of mine. When I do these live streams, I like just shotgun a whole bunch of different ideas out there. And it can be overwhelming, I'm certain. But there is a method to my madness, believe it or not. There really is. Part of this is my practice, my documenting and recovering it for later. But the biggest part of it is I really do hope to share some words that might encourage or inspire others. So if I think it sounds like a good idea, I try and share it. Regarding those ideas, earlier I was considering the thoughts on prayer, the mechanics of the process of prayer. Because from my personal experience, right, working with an AA sponsor, not a chaplain, not a priest or counselor, just some nobody, a former alcoholic, a man like me. I felt the power of confession, of admission. It was the truth that transformed me when I accepted the truth. And the initial truth, I remember the very first time I felt it. I felt this powerful shift working with my sponsor. I'd been going through all my confessions, my amends, and everything I'd done wrong. And the feedback I got was, sound like you did your best. And I couldn't dispute that. I had. But I hadn't forgiven myself. I hadn't forgiven myself for the results. See, it turned out my best wasn't good enough when it came to my marriage or my other things, right? The best just wasn't good enough. And so I had a tough time forgiving myself for many years. That's where I picked up the drinking habit, right? Trying to escape my judgment of my failures. And so when I went through the process of confessing, I felt things kind of loosen a little bit, maybe. I don't know the right words, but there was a physical, energetic transformation I could feel. And then when I got that confirmation from my spirit that, yeah, you're not worthless, it totally changed me. I mean, that was the start. And then I went through more powerful, just shifts like that of learning new things, accepting new things, discovering new things about me, things I didn't know in the world. Back to the point. The concept and mechanisms of prayer. There's a power that is contained within the truth, and the truth comes through our being. Okay? So in the process of prayer, the activity of prayer, words are being spoken to God is what the picture is, right? God doesn't need to hear you. God doesn't need your words. Your words in prayer are for you. God needs nothing from you. Okay? But your trust, your attention. In prayer, the words are for you. You need to know what you need, what you can't handle, what you can't deal with. You need to come to terms with that. God already knows what's in you, and God's prepared you for everything. So by the time the words come, God already knows the answers you need. Hey, we've got a guest in the back. Looks like he's traveling, but I'm going to bring him up, see what's going on. How you doing today, Mr. Landry?
Good, man. I was happy Veterans Day.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, that's important, I think, to say first, right? But I've been thinking a lot about language and just the way that I communicate and how important it can be, because it's everything, And I wanted to just shout out because I was watching a clip last night from a couple of years ago. It's like night and day, dude. And I'm not just, I'm not the kind of person who love bombs or tries to give people credit where it's not due. But when I see it, I always like to acknowledge it because it's genuine for me. So just looking back a couple of years ago, man, I mean, you were not communicating nearly as effectively as you are now. Just you're very good with your speech, and you're very deliberate and intentional, and that inspires me in a way that is just cool. So I just wanted to say that. Shut that out. I've been listening for the past 5 minutes, and I have my issues with God, so I don't want to tell you my thoughts because I don't think it'll be with your flow. But I'm not here to, you know, to say anything that you're doing is wrong. I just am confused about the concept still.
Thank you. Sincerely. Thank you for noticing and bringing it up, right? Acknowledging. That's the word. Thank you for acknowledging and noticing the growth. Um, I have been working to do a little bit better, particularly in my way of communicating, because it's been my downfall. There's no one I can blame in my life but me. Particularly in my way of communicating. Hey,
Hey,
mute.
Moose, what's up, man?
Welcome, Moose. You had another tab running. I muted you real quick.
You know, you make it look like we come here together because it's no, 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 we don't.
Why?
Because you just
I
don't. I
literally
don't know.
would.
I don't
I
know.
was listening to Jack, right, and then I saw, oh, he's got another person up there, and when he opens the door to someone else, I say, okay, well then the door's open now. His monologue is over. Maybe I'll jump in or something.
I got here before it was cool.
It's all right. It's all good. How you doing today, Moose? What's going on, brother?
Oh, it's a good day, man. It's a good day. I was reflecting on it being Veterans Day, and I recall you are a veteran, right?
I did two enlistments in the active army in the early 90s. The first Bush propaganda got me to enlist. And I've said it before. You know what? I'm not going to say it here. I
You don't
said
have to defend
things
yourself, Jack.
I said things in racist terms about my hopes of being sent to the Middle East, um, because I was a very confused young man. I thought it was glory to murder others in the name of democracy, right? But yeah, I did. I did join the military, a couple enlistments, but it was funny today in where I went in DC. There was a group gathering of veterans. They had a few speakers. Some of the stories were just like me, you know, poor kid growing up, not really looking at going to college, got to get a job anyway. And hey, Uncle Sam shows up, says, hey, we'll give you benefits, we'll send you around the world, we'll give you shelter and food, everything you need, kid. Come with us. It'll be fun, they said. Every American alive should probably read the short book, War is a Racket by General Smedley Butler. He was a front man for the capitalist mechanisms long ago.
I kind of feel similar to you, Jack. I personally didn't enlist, but my adopted father, he was a Vietnam vet, and I think that if he was, not in Vietnam, he would have been a different person. And I've seen like the haunting that's lived, with him for his whole life. Like every Veterans Day, like it's like a dark cloud. The memories come back of the people he lost and the things he's done, and it's the only time I ever have really seen. Not the only time in my life, but it's like the one day that I've ever seen him really cry. You know, And so it's like the Veterans Day for me, like where a lot of people are celebrating and they're having a great time and they're wanting to barbecue and do stuff like that. I find it different. I find it a very sad day. I find it almost something that we should be not ashamed of, but like it's just not something happy to be. You know, everybody was tricked. Our guys were tricked. Their team was tricked. People were killed innocents. A lot of like stories were ended over people who are making the decisions for the rest of us. And that's what I think is so powerful about what you do, Jack. And I think that's what keeps me coming back is because you're fighting in a battle that I don't think could ever be won, but it's so valiant and honorable that it's like, how could you not support it?
Thank you. I appreciate it. What you were sharing about your family. I mean, I've shared the story of me. I served as a kid, and it took me a while. I grew the nation's pride in what I did. I found comfort and pride in my service. But I was blessed. In 2019, when I discovered Veterans for Peace, I discovered my reason for living. This is why I live, to end wars. Okay? There's the suicide. When I started growing in my education of the true costs of wars, right? What it actually costs humanity, nations, the future, I was, my eyes were opened. And in discovering the true costs of war, I discovered the solutions as well. And it's so simple and obvious. In 2019, when I discovered Veterans for Peace, they also had the national convention in my hometown. I'm telling you, God has been creating this story with me. At the national convention in Spokane, there was art exhibits and all of this, and there was one quote that stood out so powerfully to me. It was a picture of a soldier, GI, returning, battle worn, fatigued, just the back of him, and it said something about the wars continued because those who went before us and returned were not allowed to speak about what they saw. Right? That greatest generation, World War II, they came back, the silent generation, right? Don't talk about your problems. Don't talk about the fears and the night terrors. Don't talk about the fact that you're taking your anger out on your wife and your kids, right? Don't talk about that stuff. That's family stuff. Don't discuss those things. That's what we were taught. And the wars continue, and the damage continues, and the costs of our freedom. We can't continue. We cannot continue down this path, brothers and sisters of America. I was with like minded people today. Now, how many did I connect with? I don't know. I didn't get a lot of opportunities, but I know I was surrounded by like minded people. People who see what's happening in this nation and are willing to go stand out in 36-degree weather as the wind is blowing all over us, right? It was friggin' cold out there today. But there's a decent gathering. Maybe a couple hundred, maybe. I don't know. The moral injuries that our veterans are suffering, that's what I believe is the cause of this. This website here, stopsoldiersuicide.org. I just kind of discovered it because I was looking up suicide rates. Veterans are at 58% higher risk of suicide than those who have not served. And this one, suicide is the second leading cause of death in veterans under age 45. Second cause of death, leading cause of death. I suppose that makes sense, wouldn't it? Suicide, yeah, why not? 6,000 in 1 year. The last year, as I understood, they actually did a real intensive monitoring in 1 year. And 22 years in a row with over 6,000 veterans executing themselves. That's a disgrace on this nation. And after in my father's life, he ended up serving at the VA. He served veterans in the Veterans Administration. So there's a big tie with my family and this cause. Maybe that's why I take it personally. I don't know. One of the conversations I had today with a woman at the rally, she says She's been fighting against war since the Vietnam time. You know, her brother got enlisted and she's been a pacifist ever since. And she says, we have to do something. I say, no, we get to. This is our lifetime. This right here, this is our lifetime to change this world. Let's not give up on that idea. Let's do it. Were you jumping in, Landry? Sorry, I kind of. Okay.
No, man, I'm starting to switch over, so hold on. I gotta leave this mobile one.
No sweat. Whoops. I went to drop him. Viru, this comment, God is evil, considering most of his creation is constantly considering suicide. There's so many holes to this comment. Number one, your assumption you know what most of his creation is doing. No, you do not. So to jump to the conclusion that God is evil is wrong. Most of his creation here on earth, since God has given mankind free will, we have found ourselves lost. And I mentioned this previously, the apocalypse, the revelation. The apocalypse is the revelation of the unbearable truth. The unbearable truth is God. The unbearable truth to the ego, to the false identity, is God. The truly unbearable truth, we have been misled. Mankind as a whole. The whole nation is being misled right now and deceived by the great deceivers. This is going to go down in history as a great deception, right? Past 100 years here in America, at least, if not more. It's got to be longer than that the world has been deceived. I don't want to guess on that right now, but I know that this is our only, I won't say only. What I did say is this is our lifetime to bring change into this world. This one here. This is our lifetime. Right here, now, today. Today is our lifetime. We get to change this world any way we want, any way we can. See, goodness needs to be supported. I may not get into that abstract thought. That was when I started earlier. The difference between evil. No, yeah. I'm going to start wrapping it up. I actually think a short stream is appropriate. I spent a lot of time today out in the cold, and my body feels like it could use a little warming up and maybe a rest. And we had some very brief interactions today. But like I said, I was involved with others. My mind was set on the day. I'm remembering what I said in this live stream. And there was not a lot of flow, was there? I hope it made sense. I hope for those who were here with me, I hope that you were able to follow the patterns and catch what I'm saying. Or if you tuned in late to me, I hope it makes sense. The real message, not just today, every day, honor peace. Honor peace and those who stand for peace, those who share peace, those who offer peace, those who take the high road. Honor that. I'm confident that peace is our purpose. We're not here to be at war with each other, right? Every enemy we might find, it's an identity we come up with, right? It's an excuse, it's a label, it's a reason, it's a whatever. It's an opinion. The message from Jesus and from the God that I know: love one another. A thought that I sat with last night as I was going to sleep, and I may close us out with this today. As I was considering my options, truly, I invite you to consider this for yourself. Allow your options to be love or nothing. Feel love or feel nothing at all. You can do that. It's up to you. God's given you the power. You have the will, don't you? You have the ability to choose, to decide, to discern. And if you discern your options between love or anything else, you will want nothing but love for yourself. So have nothing but love for yourself and everything else. Love or nothing. That's how you honor life over death. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap it up there. I feel good. I hope you feel good. Until next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. Praise God. God bless.